Greetings and welcome to Week 5, Unit 4 on Program Educational Objectives and Program Specific Outcomes. In the earlier unit, we understood the taxonomy of spiritual domain, and in this unit we will try to understand what program educational objectives and program specific outcomes are. We mentioned earlier in one of the units that the outcomes of a program are presented at three levels. One is program educational objectives, the other one is the program outcomes, third, at the same level as the program outcomes, we have program specific outcomes, and then the third level is course outcomes. We will explain what they are and what is some kind of a relationship between the three. Now we will look at first about program educational objectives. We will keep referring to them as PEOs. Normally what we do is the department should institute in which the department is located as a vision and a mission, and the department has a vision compatible with the institute's vision, and then it has its own mission. Let's say when a department wants to offer an undergraduate program in mechanical engineering, what is the intention? They would like to train their students as good mechanical engineers, and you want them to work as mechanical engineers in their profession. Let us say after graduation, most of the people do not work in the area of mechanical engineering or anything related to mechanical engineering. Then the entire program has no relevance at all other than giving a degree certificate in engineering. So the idea here is that you are training mechanical engineers, and most of them, it is not mandatory that 100% of them will work in disciplines or jobs related to mechanical engineering, but majority of them are working in the jobs or going for further studies related to mechanical engineering. So, a department offering a BE program in mechanical engineering would like its graduates to be good mechanical engineers and to get involved in activities related to mechanical engineering for the first few years after graduation. We cannot insist that even after 4 or 5 years after graduation they should continue to be in the same area. What happens is 4 or 5 years after graduation give them very different experiences to different people, and those experiences may lead them to kind of facilitate them to go into some other professions. So we cannot insist that the lifelong they have to work in exactly in the same way. So at least in the first few years they should be involved in activities related to mechanical engineering. That is broadly the idea. And this wish of the department is expressed as program educational objectives. Here, but every mechanical engineering program offered by every college need not be identical. So what happens, one particular department may have a slightly different idea for what kind of jobs you are preparing or you are training your students for. So the PEOs need not be the same for every mechanical engineering department. Okay, That is broadly the features of PEOs. Now, who prepares these PEOs, and what is the relationship between PEOs and the mission of the department? Because there is a hierarchy, right? Institute, vision and mission, department, vision and mission, and then department has certain program educational objectives. They all have to be in alignment. So the PEOs of the department should be in alignment with the mission of the department. For example, a department may express that the kind of mechanical engineers it wants to train through its BE program, or the focus of their BE program is expressed as a part of the mission as well. So the mission and the PEO should be in alignment with one another. And this alignment is captured through what is called mission PEO matrix, as it is also required by the MBA accreditation. That means when you prepare the self-assessment report for accreditation, one aspect is you have to prepare a mission PEO matrix, and you have to justify through that matrix that PEOs are in alignment with the mission. Okay. So as we mentioned already, PEOs are what the graduates of the program are expected to achieve within 3 to 4 years of completing the program. Majority of the programs or at least majority of the graduates of the program should be involved in a subset of activities represented in PEOs. PEOs we make broad statements. That is, we say they are likely to be involved in research, manufacturing, testing, design, and all that. But obviously every student is not likely to be involved in all of them. So we say your graduates of the program should be involved in a subset of activities represented in PEOs. But how do we find out that they are actually in those activities? So the department has to conduct a survey of its graduates after 4 years, just trying to find out what is the nature of their job and where they are working. That's all. Once you get that data, you can justify that the main aim of the department is achieved. Okay. And now this is expressed through this figure. Here you have mission of the department, and then you constitute a committee specifically at the department level with representatives of all stakeholders, or at least important stakeholders, and the stakeholders should include industry, the alumni, faculty, and possibly graduating students themselves. If you have one of them, that is representative of the 4th year students, if you have 1 or 2 in the committee, that will it is a committee that will look at it. For example, they can give feedback based on their experience. If you think that something is to be modified, or their vision of what ought to be in that, all that can be expressed in this committee. And this committee and the mission of the department, which was already decided earlier, will together decide the program educational objectives. And these PEOs get related to mission through a mission PEO matrix. Okay, that is broadly the relationship. Now, more details. PEOs must follow from the mission of the department offering the program, as we mentioned. PEOs are to be 3 to 5 in number. That is, you do not write multiple sentences in a PEO. Each PEO is represented as one sentence. You can have several phrases, all right, and they have to be between 3 and 5 as required by the NBA. And these to be identified, okay, constitute a committee, but then what happens is there has to be a process defined how this committee functions. First of all, what is the composition of the committee with regard to stakeholders, faculty participation, who are all participating, and how frequently they should meet, and when do they actually meet, at what time of the year. All this should be, for example, what kind of discussion should take place, what should be the output at the end of the meeting, all that need to be defined. And then having defined all that, the entire process, you should also record what you call details of the implementation. That means, when did the committee meet, the day on which it met, who are the people who met. It could be these days online as well. Okay, who are the members who participated, and then what was the conclusion drawn. Are the minutes approved by all the members of the committee? All this, the implementation details also should be documented. The NBA gives a lot of importance to both the process definition and the implementation records. The process need not be very large. There may be 4 or 5 elements in that, that's all. It is not a very elaborate document. But the implementation wise, the minutes of the meeting and final conclusions drawn and approval of all the committee members should be included. And having finalized this, you share it with all the stakeholders. Sometimes people even put them up what the PEOs are at key locations in the department as well. So everybody knows what the program educational objectives are. When the students see it, they find what kind of activities they are being trained for. They should not have a completely different notion than what is being offered. Okay, so you are declaring to them, this is our view, our mission with which we are training you. Okay. Now, some key elements into the PEO statements. As I said, PEO statements are not unique. A department can make its own. The one is the professional success. Professional success means you are doing a professional activity. As I mentioned, it could be in mechanical engineering, it could be manufacturing, it could be design, it could be testing, it could be variety of things which are what a mechanical engineer is likely to do. Okay. And then the other issues, you are lifelong learning, which means that you are constantly learning on the job. Okay. And some other people may go for higher education and research, and you are practicing your profession ethically. And because, as we mentioned, any activity, engineering activity is a group activity. One needs good communication skills for you to be effective, and you always work in a team, so you are a good team player, etc. These are the elements that you can include in your PEO statements. Okay. Now let us quickly go through multiple samples of these PEOs. Mechanical engineering, let's say there are 4 written here. These are written by faculty from mechanical engineering in our workshops conducted over a period of time. Engage in the design of systems, tools and applications in the field of mechanical engineering and allied engineering industries. The other industries also, many other industries will also employ mechanical engineers for similar jobs. Apply the knowledge of mechanical engineering to solve problems of social relevance and pursue higher education and research. Work effectively as individuals and as team members in multidisciplinary projects. Engage in lifelong learning, career enhancement and adapt to changing professional and societal needs. So, if you are doing survey, can you demonstrate that majority of your graduates are doing a subset of these activities? That is the intention. Now let us look at another sample of electrical and electronic engineering. Graduates of BE EEE program 4 years after graduation will engage in designing, manufacturing, testing, operating and or maintaining systems in the field of electrical and electronics engineering and allied engineering industries. Solve problems of social relevance applying the knowledge of electrical and electronic engineering and or pursue higher education and research. This part is approximately similar to the mechanical one. Work effectively as individuals and as team members in multidisciplinary projects. Engage in lifelong learning, career enhancement and adapt to changing professional and societal needs. Now we look at civil engineering. Graduates of BE program in civil engineering will survey, map and plan layouts for buildings, structures and alignments for canals and roads. Specify, design, supervise, test and evaluate foundations and superstructures for residences, public buildings, industries, irrigation structures, powerhouses, highways, railways, airways, docks, harbors, water conveying systems and environmental engineering systems. Work in a team using standard tools and environments to achieve project objectives. Engage in lifelong learning, career enhancement, adapt to changing professional and societal needs. Now we will see computer science and engineering. Now these days in this area you have at least 40-50 titles for undergraduate programs. So each program may have slightly different set of PEOs. Graduates of BE program in computer science and engineering will specify, design, develop, test and maintain usable software systems that behave reliably and efficiently and satisfy all the requirements that customers have defined for them. Develop software systems that would perform tasks related to research, education and training and e-governance. I need to clarify something about this, though it is not practiced very much in India in undergraduate programs. The professional body ACM considers that any program in computer science and engineering, or they call it computing programs, they use the umbrella word computing for all the 40 odd programs that we have in India. Each program should focus on some 2 or 3 application areas. That means all the examples you will take from these 2-3 areas. Instead of saying that we are generic, we can go anywhere, Yes, even if you are trained in 2 or 3 areas, you can still, the graduates can go and work anywhere they like, but they understand how in a specific area, how an area brings kind of constraints within which you are operating. That is the reason why the ACM strongly recommends that undergraduate program should have 2 or 3 areas of your application. It could be banking, it could be finance, it could be, there are any number of areas, it could be any of them, but each department should pick, the faculty should correspondingly kind of specialize in those areas, chosen areas, and that will also enable them to interact with local industries or other organizations as well, once you understand the nature of the applications that you have chosen. That is the reason why PEO2 is added, but it need not be exactly the same. You can choose your application area. And PEO3, work in a team using standard tools and environments to achieve project objectives. Engage in lifelong learning, ethical practices, career enhancement, and adapt to changing AI technologies and societal needs. Obviously, AI is going to play a very, very dominant role in everything that we do or the way we live. So, whether you are trained effectively or not, you have to keep training yourself after graduation. Now we come to the other one, namely program specific outcomes. As the name itself says, PSOs are outcomes that are specific to a program. Okay, that is, we have program outcomes which are kind of common across all disciplines or all programs, that what every engineer should be doing. And these are, if you are a graduate of ECE, in the branch of ECE, what specific skills and knowledge set should you acquire? Can they be expressed as PSOs? That is the idea. PSOs characterize the specificity of the core of the program, not electives. Electives, it's a student's choice. But PSOs of a program as of now can only be up to 3 in number. Earlier version was you can go up to 4, but now NBA says it cannot be more than 3. So, if you put POs and PSOs together, there are 11 POs and maximum 3 PSOs. So, when your core will have to be designed with regard to these POs and PSOs. All programs should be designed and conducted to attain the POs identified by the NBA and PSOs identified by the concerned boards of studies. Every department will have a board of study, and this board of studies, which may be common in the case of non-autonomous institution, with the university, or a institute may choose its own board of studies to slightly tweak the PSOs given by the university also. PSOs should not repeat what is already stated in POs. We notice that in some cases people try to reword a PO where it is broadly some engineering, you replace that word by a specific branch name. That is not PSO. Okay. So, POs should not minor modifications of PO statements. We will see some examples. Now, PSOs statements should start with one or more action verbs, as we call them. Action verbs should be followed by clearly identified technical objects, and if required by the conditions under which the actions are to be performed. For example, I can be specific. A student should be able to solve such and such design using, let us say, MATLAB. I can even say that is a part of the PSO. I can be specific. Some action verbs for writing PSOs: formulate, specify, conceive, design, plan, architect, build, implement, test, operate. You don't have to use all of them. Whatever you think are relevant, you can choose from that. Or you can say select, analyze, determine, estimate, calculate, and maybe you can add some more action verbs if required. Okay, they are representative only. And a department, again, once again, if you take ECE department in two different colleges, they need not be exactly the same, though they are getting a degree in ECE, but they need not be identical. So I can differentiate my program, my ECE program, based on the expertise that I have through the faculty or the facilities that I have created over a period of time. Based on that, I can be different from I can differentiate my program from the others. People have done that. And what happens, students who want to specialize in that area are likely to get attracted towards that. So I can even declare to the public that I am slightly different in this particular area, that is my specialty, kind of thing. Now, here also we follow somewhat, we have a similar approach, similar to creating PEOs. So, NBA identifies program outcomes. Then you have a committee, whatever name you give, you can call it academic committee, board of studies, anything that whatever you consider relevant. And this committee will decide and periodically reviews program specific outcomes, PSOs, and program educational objectives. So the committee that we talked about to decide PEOs can also serve the purpose of writing PSOs as well. And all the three together should lead to the design of the curriculum. Over a long period, we had the practice of people deciding the individual courses and say calling the collection of courses as a program. Now it has to come from the top. POs and PSOs and PEOs together should decide the curriculum, not the other way around. And are these PSOs static? They can be periodically reviewed. And with what periodicity do we review? Whenever the curriculum changes or gets reviewed, then we have to rewrite our PSOs. Because these days things are changing so very fast, we might be reviewing the curriculum a minimum every 4 years. Sometimes people are doing it even lesser time. So whenever the curriculum is changed or reviewed significantly, then we rewrite the PEOs. So it may happen anywhere from 3 to 5 years, kind of thing. The review should follow a well-documented process, like in writing PEOs. The process should be documented and the records of process implementation should be maintained. This activity receives some marks. If you don't do that, if you do not produce records of the process document and implementation document, then you are likely to lose marks in the accreditation. And like PEOs, PSOs should be shared with all stakeholders. Now some samples. I am showing 2 samples for mechanical engineering because one program tried to differentiate itself in different way. PSO1, design and evaluate mechanical components and systems using state-of-the-art IT tools. Design and evaluate only. Plan the manufacturing of given mechanical components and systems like methods design, process plan, process automation, and manufacturing methods. Apply modern management methods to manufacturing and design quality assurance systems. If you notice, nothing is mentioned about thermal systems in this particular set of PSOs. Sample 2, design and evaluate mechanical components and systems using state-of-the-art IT tools, same as the above one. Design and evaluate thermal systems including IC engines, refrigerating, air conditioning and power generating systems. Plan including methods design, process plan, process automation and quality assurance systems to manufacture given mechanical components and systems. So, as you can see, the programs can differentiate themselves. If you take a sample of PSOs from civil engineering, survey, map and plan layouts for building structures and alignments for canals and roads. Specify, design, supervise, test and evaluate foundations and superstructures for residences, public buildings, industries, irrigation structures, powerhouses, highways, railways, airways, docks and harbors. When you look at the statement, it looks that you are addressing whole lot of things. So, if your program is limited to a subset of them, correspondingly modify. Okay. Formulate, specify, select environmental engineering systems and estimate safe and assured withdrawals, and specify, design and evaluate water conveying systems, hydraulic machines and surge systems. Okay. Similarly, for computer science and engineering, two different samples. First one, specify, design, develop system software, language translators, languages, operating systems, user interface to allow convenient use of computer. Determine and optimize the performance of a given algorithm on a given platform. Specify, design and develop software for intelligent systems. There are certain application areas not mentioned in this, but this program wants to only focus on this. Whereas the another one, specify, design, develop, test and manage reliable and efficient application of software systems as per user requirements. Specify, design and develop system software to allow convenient use of computing systems. Specify, design, develop, test application software systems for the worldwide network of computers. Okay. So that is about PEOs and PSOs. All faculty need to be concerned with them. They do guide us. They do guide us about our program, and they help us in assuring that you meet the you facilitate a better careers for your students. In the next unit, we try to understand the structure of course outcome statements, or what is the structure of outcome statements. Thank you for your attention.